Hey now, it's your boy Gorilla Gamer bringing you your Florida Man news for August 11th, 2023. Let's just do this as a video for Florida Man crimes and news of the week. Here we go. Get on it.
Investigating human remains found in 3 suitcases. Officials say all of them appear to be belonging to one woman. Delray Beach police say this started with a call for a suspicious item Saturday afternoon. That's when officers found the first suitcase containing human remains. 2 more were found soon after. The woman's remains have been taken to the medical examiner's office now for identification. A Winter Park police officer out of a job after investigators say he got drunk and then crashed into several parked cars.
And we've learned he never spent one day behind bars. Fox 35's Patrick Perez is live at Winter Park Police headquarters tonight. And Patrick, police deny that this officer was given any special treatment.
Luann, the Maitland Police Department says what happened here isn't all that uncommon. When there's a case that does not involve felonies and the suspect is still hospitalized, they give them what's called a notice to appear in court and do not physically arrest them. It was just before 10:45 the night of March 12th when Maitland police say now former Winter Park police officer Matthew Wright crashed into 2 parked cars. This happened near North Pennsylvania Avenue and Railroad Avenue. In his unmarked Ford Explorer, similar to this one, police say he crashed into the cars and then kept driving before coming to a stop not too far from the scene. Wright was taken to the hospital as a precaution. According to an arrest affidavit at the scene, police located 12 White Claw surge cans that were empty under the front driver's seat. When interviewed at the hospital, Wright told officers he did not know how those cans got into his vehicle and that he had no recollection of any events prior, during, or after the crash. Police observed his eyes to be bloodshot and glassy and his speech to be slurred. After refusing to provide a sample of his blood, Wright was provided copies of the citations and was advised of his court dates. Wright was charged with driving under the influence with property damage and for failure to leave his information. That second charge was eventually dropped. He was found guilty of the DUI charge, which is a first-degree misdemeanor, and placed on probation. But not once did the then Winter Park police officer spend time in jail. In a statement, Maitland police, who investigated the case, say, "It is understandable that you may perceive that Mr. Wright was giving preferential treatment because he was not physically arrested. However, this was not the case. He was charged with those crimes for which probable cause was developed, and our agency cooperated with the state attorney's office to ensure Mr. Wright was successfully
That's weird.
crashed into 2 parked cars. This happened near North Pennsylvania.
That's weird, seeing that most normal people would be arrested or have some form of jail term with their DUI. Anyway, moving on.
Surge cans that were empty under the front driver's seat. When interviewed at the hospital, Wright told officers he did not know how those cans got into his vehicle and that he had no recollection of any events prior, during, or after the crash. Police observed his eyes to be bloodshot and glassy and his speech to be slurred. After refusing to provide a sample of his blood, Wright was provided copies of the citations and was advised of his court dates. Wright was charged with driving under the influence with property damage and for failure to leave his information. That second charge was eventually dropped. He was found guilty of the DUI charge, which is a first-degree misdemeanor, and placed on probation. But not once did the then Winter Park police officer spend time in jail. In a statement, Maitland police, who investigated the case, say, "It is understandable that you may perceive that Mr. Wright was giving preferential treatment because he was not physically arrested. However, this was not the case. He was charged with those crimes for which probable cause was developed, and our agency cooperated with the state attorney's office to ensure Mr. Wright was successfully prosecuted." And as part of the year-long probation that he must undergo, Wright has to complete a DUI class. He'll have his license suspended for 6 months, and he'll also have to pay up to $1,200 in fines. We're live in Winter Park tonight. I'm Patrick Perez, Fox 35 News.
Patrick, thank you.
An alleged child stalker out on bond arrested again.
You apparently been stalking someone.
I have not been stalking anyone.
Okay.
I've been in my house the whole time.
Neighbors now hoping he stays behind bars for good. And that is our top story tonight. The man is accused of stalking 2 children in his neighborhood in Deltona. And it's not the first time that he's been charged for it either. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Brown.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Luann Sorrell. Mark Greenberg, seen here, was arrested over the weekend. Fox 35's Deborah Cho is live in Deltona tonight. And Deborah, neighbors say their kids were afraid to go outside. Yeah, Luann, John, neighbors were telling me today when I was speaking with them that as soon as their kids saw that Mark Greenberg was arrested right here at his Deltona home, they were seen clapping. They were happy, telling their parents they could finally come outside and play without being scared.
Dick.
You have arrest paperwork for you for aggravated stalking.
Arrest paperwork.
Yeah,
what?
charging affidavit. I just told you for aggravated stalking.
What have I allegedly done? Can we go over here so we can lock my door?
You apparently been stalking someone.
I have not been stalking anyone.
Okay.
I've been in my house the whole time.
That was Mark Greenberg getting taken into custody for the second time for the same crime. Aggravated stalking of a minor. He's accused of stalking a 10 and 13-year-old boy in his neighborhood.
False charges or false charges?
Yep, whatever you say.
These are young children we're talking about in your neighborhood.
Correct. And we don't know if he's just targeting little kids, smaller kids, or just women.
Sean Riggins has lived in his Deltona neighborhood for nearly 8 years. He was glad to see his neighbor, Mark Greenberg, taken into custody.
Instead of us taking it in our hands like we want to as mothers and fathers, we contact the sheriff's office because we know if we did it, we'll be in the wrong.
Court documents show the victim's mother documented 11 incidents since May where she says Greenberg followed her sons to the bus stop and recorded her sons often playing outside.
All the neighbors here, we all know each other. We tend to look out for each other. And to hear something like that's going on with children in the neighborhood.
I'm going to turn you into a woman. I'm going to take you to Disney World.
Neighbors are wondering why Greenberg was able to get out on bond after the first case last year in which he's accused of the same crime against a 6-year-old girl.
You are constitutionally entitled to have bond set unless you are charged with a capital crime or a crime that's punishable by life.
In the meantime, neighbors say they're glad the kids can feel safe and play outside.
It's so sad that the kids even know when he's outside. They know he's out recording. They know that's the guy that's recording us.
Now, the criminal defense attorney that I talked with, she has no ties to this case, but she told me typically in situations like this, the suspect would not be allowed to get back on bond pending that trial. Reporting live here in Deltona, Deborah Cho, Fox 35 News.
Developing this morning an urgent reminder for parents to track what their kids are doing on social media. That's because of this video. It's an 11-year-old girl. She's in handcuffs right now.
You see Volusia County deputies there. They said she led them on a wild goose chase after reporting a fake kidnapping. And Randy Hildreth is live. And Randy, it's an eye-opener for a lot of parents and obviously for this 11-year-old girl who learned this from a challenge on YouTube.
Yeah, a very hard lesson learned. This morning, she is waking up here at the Juvenile Detention Center because of all of this. In the sheriff's office, trying to get this message out that they are not happy with what she did and they do not want anyone else pulling a stunt like this. Now, yesterday, deputies spent time moving up and down I-95 trying to find what they believed was a kidnapping victim because of that call that went in. And they say they used a lot of resources to try to do that. Well, they pinged the girl's phone. They ended up at her house in Port Orange, talked to the family, and slowly but surely all of this began to unravel. And the sheriff's office says that they don't, again, want anyone doing like this, and they hope that she learned her lesson.
Telling you this right now, you're going to take this as a lesson at 11 years old that if you do something stupid in the future, you're going to enjoy those cuffs.
And hopefully her little friends and other parents will be like, oh my God, this isn't funny.
Now, according to deputies, she was charged with making a false police report concerning a firearm, which is a felony, and misuse of 911. So very serious situation here. But the sheriff says he is fed up with situations like this. He says, in fact, last week there were 3 swatting calls where someone makes the 911 call and about a situation that didn't actually happen. So he is setting up a series of community meetings to try to get the message out. Don't do this anymore. The first one is set for Monday, July 31st at First New Smyrna Beach Church at 6 o'clock. We do have a full list of all of the meetings that are coming up with the sheriff's office posted on our website, fox35orlando.com right now. Live this morning, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
So you have it. Those are the Florida crimes of the week. Hey, it's Friday. You've earned your weekend. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you sometime. Gorilla Gamer, out.